Why is anime obsessed with perfection? Because the idea of perfection leaves endless room for intrigue and inspiration. And the deeper you look into anime, the more you realize this obsession is everywhere. Through the nonchalant genius, the untouchable prodigy, the character who always seems 5 steps ahead. But here's the amazing part. Perfection in anime is never just one thing. Sometimes it's strength, sometimes talent, sometimes control. And there's one modern anime character that embodies almost all of it all at once.
It looks like you
Kiyotaka
still have some fight
Ayanokoji
left in you.
from Classroom of the Elite. And by the end of this video, you understand why characters like him become so addictive to watch. This is Blessed Anime Hot Takes, and today we're breaking down anime's obsession with perfection for the character who represents it greater than anyone else. Perfection represents possibility. That's why we're drawn to it. Overwhelming capability is something all of us naturally admire. A perfect character feels limitless. No awkwardness, no weakness, no uncertainty, just pure capability. And deep down, all of us have wanted that at least once in our lifetimes. To become smarter, stronger, calmer, more respected, more complete. But let's slowly beat that desire out of us as reality caught up. We realized we have our limits, weaknesses, insecurities, and things we'll naturally never excel at. And eventually, that childhood belief that we could become anything starts fading away. The anime gives us perfection again, and suddenly, we start imagining, what if we actually became everything we wanted to be? That's why perfection evokes wonder. It speaks to the optimistic, unjaded parts of ourselves, the version of us that still believes life can be won, every challenge can be overcome, everything is still possible. And honestly, that fantasy is exhilarating because perfection creates the illusion that maybe life itself becomes easier if we just became capable enough. No relying on luck or external factors, just pure ability. And that's why today we're discussing Ayanokoji, the embodiment of perfection. Ayanokoji works because he exists in a world we already understand. The school. There's grades, sports, social hierarchy, relationship dynamics, and status. Everything that makes up our normal lives. And that's why he
綾小路
exploded
清隆
in popularity. Because his perfection felt visible, tangible, almost attainable. We watched him and think, you watch him and think, what if I handled life like that? What if you always stayed calm, always knew what to say, always stayed ahead, and was able to dominate every situation? He's addictive. He feels realistic enough to self-insert into, yet perfect enough to admire. And the thing about Ayanokoji's perfection, it isn't built around just one thing. It's the complete package. Looks, academics, athleticism, social awareness, manipulation, composure. He feels engineered to excel at every category life values. And maybe that's why we gravitate to him so strongly. Ayanokoji feels like perfection designed for modern life itself. But this is where perfection becomes more interesting. Because perfection anime is never actually one thing. It's abstract, and that's why it's so fascinating. Different characters embody different versions of it. For Ayanokoji, its perfection through complete capability. In Dragon Ball Z, it's the perfection in strength. For in JJK, its perfection is overwhelming talent through Satoru Gojo. And that's why the idea never gets old. Because perfection constantly changes depending on the character, the story, the era, and the audience. Some characters obsess over attaining perfection, others obsess over maintaining it. Some lose themselves chasing it, others realize perfection still doesn't fulfill them even after reaching it. And that opens deeper questions. What even is perfection? Can perfection truly be reached? And if someone actually reaches perfection, what happens after that? Can they still grow? Because growth itself requires imperfection. That's why perfection anime is so led. It represents aspiration, discipline, transcendence, possibility, stagnation, all at once. And Ayanokoji embodies it all at once. So anime isn't obsessed with perfection, because perfection is flawless. Anime is obsessed with perfection, because perfection is endless. An endless fantasy, an endless pursuit, an endless reflection of what we admire, desire, and aspire towards. And that's why characters like Ayanokoji resonate so deeply. He represents possibility, the possibility that maybe we could become better, more capable, more composed. And even if perfection itself can never truly be reached, anime lets us dream about it anyway. And that's why we keep coming back to characters like Ayanokoji. Not because they're perfect, but because they make perfection feel imaginable. And maybe that's why perfection remains one of anime's deepest recurring ideas. Because every character answers the question. Because every character answers the question differently. What does it actually mean to become perfect? What does it actually mean to become perfect? So now I want to ask you something. What anime character represents perfection the best to you? And do you think perfection is something humanity should even chase in the first place? Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. And until then, stay blessed.